Welcome back to NCC News. I'm Keithina Montgomery, here to give you your sports update. Lots of sports to cover today, but we start with America's favorite, football. It's week 8 in the NFL, and there are a lot of scores that we need to discuss, starting with the Bills and the Patriots. The Bills came into this game 6-2 for the season, and the Patriots are 2-5, an unusual spot for the 6-time winning Super Bowl champs. Let's get to New York. The Jets were able to get some points on the board with 2 field goals, but when Mahomes finds Travis Kelce, it normally results in a touchdown like this one right there. But Kelce wasn't Mahomes' favorite today. It was Hill again, able to get ahead of his defender and catch the 41-yard pass, running it in for another Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes and Hill really just having fun today. Chiefs win 35-9. Indiana's lead, but this game was far from over. Overtime now. Michael Penix Jr. runs for it, and he gets it. Indiana getting their first win against a top 10 team since 1987. Indiana beats Penn State 36-35. Now this next play was really something to see. The projected #1 draft pick in all, Lawrence threw his first interception, resulting in a pick 6 for Garrett Williams, his first interception, scoring another SU touchdown. Signs of greatness showed through with Rex Culpepper with this 83-yard throw to Nakeem Johnson for an SU touchdown, the longest reception in Johnson's career, but the celebrations didn't last long. Culpepper went on to get sacked twice and throw 3 interceptions, which resulted in Clemson erupting with 20 unanswered points, one of them being that touchdown right there by ETN again. Up until the end of the third quarter, SU was still very much in the game with a 27-21 score gap, only 1 touchdown away from a tie, but Clemson went on to beat SU 47-21. Really good effort by the Orange's defense. Standout player being Garrett Williams, ending the game with the squad's best, having 8 tackles and his first interception. SU takes on Wake Forest next on what will be a very spooky night. That is Halloween. It's baseball time, best of 5 in the ALDS series. Yankees-Rays, a series tied 2-2. Winner is 1 step closer to the Commissioner's Trophy. And the last time these two teams met, same situation, tied 2-2 in September. Aroldis Chapman threw a 101-mile-an-hour fastball near the head of hitter Mike Brosso, and there was a lot of gossip around the two, fans accusing Chapman of doing it on purpose. Intentional or not, the two teams had to leave it all on the baseball field tonight. San Diego, California, Petco Park, bottom of the first, bases loaded. Garrett Cole on the mound with a 3-2 count on Joey Wendell. He strikes him out with a 97-mile-an-hour ball, making a big pitch early. Top of the 4th now, no team on the scoreboard, but Aaron Judge says, I'll be the judge of that. He homers right, putting the Yankees on the board first. Rays get on the board with an Austin Meadows homer in the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 8th, scores tied. It's Chapman, Brosso again, another fastball. Brosso answers this time, hitting a dinger out in the left field, putting the Rays on top 2-1. Top of the 9th now, Yankees got one more shot. Gio Urshela up to bat. He lines out to third, and the Rays win the best of 5 series 3-2 and move on to the ALCS series, 1 step closer in the race. Welcome back to NCC News. I'm Keithina Montgomery, here to give you your sports update. Last week, the Orange football team suffered some big injuries, with quarterback Tommy DeVito being carted out of the game against Duke, and with All-American safety Andre Sisco announcing he will be opting out of the 2021 season to prepare for the NFL draft. The Orange are 1-3 for the season, coming off of a loss to Duke. The defense struggled to contain the run game as they take on Liberty, a team that excels in the run game. Let's see how the two teams matched up. It started with 22 teams and a question of if this season would even happen. It's been 95 days since the NBA bubble started, and for the Heat and the Lakers, it has been a long time without seeing friends, family, and playing in front of their fans. They have made it to Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and will a champion be crowned tonight? Lakers lead the series 3-2, Heat hoping to force a Game 7. Anthony Davis having 28 points in Game 5, keeping the same energy here off the miss of Rajon Rondo. The big man dunks it. This game was a classic Lake show. Lakers leading the score in every quarter but the fourth. Davis right here with another dunk. LeBron James leading this game with 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. Jimmy Butler and the Heat tried to stay in the game, but James gets his fourth championship ring, and the Lakers get their first championship win with a female owner, Jenny Buss, defeating the Heat 106-93. This win was so much more than just a championship. With the tragic death of the great Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gigi Bryant, the Lakers dedicate this win to him and his family. Lakers win their 17th title in the franchise's history, and James M. Davis have conquered the historic bubble. Welcome back to NCC News. I'm Keithina Montgomery, and I'm in a new spot this time, but still the same rundown, here to give you your sports update. Syracuse's football team took on the #1 college football team earlier today, and who still remembers that crazy upset from 3 years ago in the Dome when SU beat Clemson 27-24? Let's see how they matched up this year. Game 7 of the ALCS Finals happened earlier today. Rays and Astros both tied in the series. The road to the Commissioner's Cup ended for one team tonight, Rays being just one of 6 MLB teams without a championship in the franchise's history, and Houston winning the title back in 2017, looking to get one step closer this year. Rays rookie Randy Arozarena has been the breakout star of the postseason. The decisions didn't come easy at all. Lawsuits were drawn up. Players spoke out themselves. It took the parents of Big Ten athletes protesting out front of the Big Ten headquarters in Rosemont, Illinois, for their children to be allowed the chance to play. Safe to say, the Big Ten heard their request loud and clear, and now a season is underway. 2 Central New Yorkers to watch out for as we look at the highlights from the Penn State and Indiana game that happened earlier today. Normally, the AHL season would start after the NHL season, but Hounson said that moving the date to before the NHL starts gives them the best chance to have a significant season with fans in the building. The AHL has been in operation since 1936, serving as the top development league for all 31 National Hockey League teams. Nearly 90% of today's NHL players are American Hockey League graduates. President of Syracuse Crunch team spoke out about the season, sharing that nothing can be set in stone this year. The French Open happened earlier today against Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. Both opponents coming into this match with impressive track records, leading them to this moment. Djokovic is the #1 tennis player in the world, and Nadal, better known by his nickname, the King of Clay, has the title of winning the most Open titles ever. Nadal on the serve now. He's up 40 love to win the title. He hit an incredible ace to close out the match and win another French Open title, totaling to 13 French title wins, the most ever in history. Their local product of upstate New York doing it big in the big leagues. Former Cicero High School star Breanna Stewart and the Seattle Storm had their second game of the WNBA Finals against the Las Vegas Aces today. The Storm led the series by 1 and have only lost one finals game in the franchise's history. Stewart has one championship under her belt already that she won back in 2018 with the same team. Let's see if she can do it again 2 years later.
My name is Anthony Quealy. I'm a redshirt sophomore. I'm a receiver for the Syracuse Orange, and I own my own business.
Now, you might have thought you knew Anthony, the football player, who spends most of his time in this building right behind me. But there is more to Anthony than just his athletic ability. Anthony has been on the honor roll every semester since coming to Syracuse in 2018. When Anthony isn't in the books or on the field, he is working on building his empire. That empire is called Kicks Qtopia.
What I do is I buy and resell sneakers. My business is named Kicks Qtopia, and there's a lot of money to be made in the sneaker industry.
He has always had an interest in sneakers since he was in middle school. But to be a sneakerhead is one thing, but to be such a big sneakerhead that you start your own business is another.
I've loved sneakers for so long. I'm like, wow, I can make money with this. That's just like the perfect thing to do. With going to college, it's like, okay, I'm going to be introduced to different people around the whole from different parts of the world. That's a huge way to just network and connect with different people and get this going.
The shoe resale business is projected to be a $6 billion business globally by 2025. With that, there are a lot of competitors in the business, but Anthony proves to set himself apart from his competitors.
My shipping is 2 to 3 days. You won't have to wait 2 to 3 weeks. And on top of that, if you're buying from StockX and GOAT, they're going to charge you a fee. It's going to be a lot more than the price that you're actually paying for the shoe. So that's why Kishkitobia might be the way for anybody who wants to buy some shoes.
With the responsibility of being a student first, athlete second, and businessman third, Anthony has high hopes for the future. He sees himself owning his own shoe store. You can find his business on social media platforms at KixQtopia, and make sure to turn on post notifications for any giveaway contest he does in the future. Setting goals and achieving them is something that seems to come with ease for All-American Andre Cisco, but no one could have predicted what happened next.
I went into the Georgia Tech game thinking, I was going to play and it was a regular day. And then in pregame, just had a freak accident happen and I ended up being out for the season.
Left looking at his options, Cisco made a decision that would change the course of his college football days for good. On October 13th, Andre Cisco posted on his Instagram account announcing that he would be leaving Syracuse to prepare for the 2021 NFL Draft.
I had to make a big decision, so I talked to my support group and the people around me that I trust and everything, and I got the advice that I needed. So I took a leap of faith and decided to enter the draft and leave school.
Despite it being a season-ending injury that prompted Cisco to enter himself into the NFL Draft, the NFL Draft was always something that was top of mind for Cisco.
My goal was always to be 3 years and out and back to the NFL Draft, so I wanted to make that happen.
Cisco has been playing football since he was 8 years old and attended the IMG Academy before coming to Syracuse and setting records and demolishing offenses. I asked Cisco at what moment did he realize that he was an NFL caliber player.
I think I went to IMG and being around those type of guys that are all highly touted recruits and everything that knowing I could play with them. That gave me a lot of confidence. So
since announcing he was to enter the NFL Draft, Cisco is just over 150 days away from the NFL Combine, and he's been out in California focusing on his training and rehab.
I'm working out right now. I'm at the point where I could walk around. I could do a lot of workouts. I could do upper body as much as I want. So I'm at that point right now, and I'm just focusing on rehab and getting back to my old self.
Even though there was only speculation in regards to Cisco's status and injury, journalists have already started to bet against Cisco. When I told him this, he had something to say to those people.
Because I carry it well, don't mean it's not heavy. I'll say that. I'll leave that for y'all.
Andre Cisco, former Syracuse safety, to enter the 2021 NFL Draft after leaving his mark on Syracuse football. Reporting for NCC News, I'm Keithina Montgomery.